Hello everyone, and welcome to Agrestal Vestige, where we are vested in all things Agrestal. Again this week, I have another blended Scotch whiskey to review. And this is a little bit of a different one this week. This is one that's gotten real popular in the last couple of years. It was even mentioned on the online Scotch Whisky Awards, OSWAs, the last couple of years. And thought I'd review it. It's a blended Scotch whiskey called Maclean's Nose. And it is bottled at 46%. And I'm trying to see if it declares itself not colored, not chill filtered. Anyway, let's get it in the glass. Now, this is the first bottle that I've purchased of this. It says it's a high proportion of ex-sherry cask influence. So I'm trying to see. It doesn't say natural color that I see. Anyway, enough of that. What do we have here on the nose? It's quite earthy to start out with. Slightly smoky. The earthiness is kind of a damp earthiness, like after a rain. It has a note to it, kind of like a freshly opened tin of peaches. Yeah, tinned peaches. There's some green fruits in there too. Kind of green apples, even grapes even. There's a light floral hint to that initially on the nose. I mean, 46%, at least it's a proper strength, which is unusual for a lot of blends, as you well know. It's that fresh, earthy, damp grass, just kind of fresh type aromas. Anyway, what do we have on the palate? Well, on the palate you definitely get the green apples. You get sort of a smoky type marmalade note coming through, but definitely the green apples. You get that earthy note that was on the nose, but it's rather more strong on the palate. Still that dampy, earthy, slightly florally type note on the palate. I'm not tasting any nuts, any chocolates, any cereal notes, nothing like that. It's just it's a nice, earthy, blended Scotch whiskey. The apples, really, the apples and the grasses, I guess, would be the more forward flavors in there. As far as the finish, before adding the water, it's clean, it's crisp, it's medium length, I would say. Not really bitter, but slightly salty. Slightly. There's a little saline-y type note to it. I mean, it's somewhat balanced from the nose, the palate, the arrival and finish. I'm going to add a little bit of water to this just to see at 46% what we can knock off. I'm going to put a couple of milliliters to it. Let that sit for a bit. Well, this was this particular blend. They claim it's high in malt. It's 70% malt whiskey in this, and 30% grain whiskey. And the malt comes from Ardnamurchan distillery, so it's unusually highly malted for a blend, and the color on it is really nice. What there is left, you can tell I've gotten into the bottle a little bit, but let's read here. Maclean's nose has long been celebrated by Adelphi, who owned Chief Nose. The Charlie Maclean once wrote there. Yeah, well, Charlie Maclean, I'm sure all of you know if you've been into whiskey or you watch reviews. He's kind of one of the most popular. I mean, he's written books. He's known as the guy to go to if you want to know the breakdown of the smells and tastes of Scotch whiskey. He's been doing this for ages. He's written many definitive texts on the subject of blended just Scotch whiskey in general. And he was the one that was his nose was the one responsible for creating this blend, I'm told. So nice color, nice strength. Wow. Now, after adding the water, it really starts to open up some. You can definitely tell that. It really opens up with more orchard fruits. A lot more floral aromas. It's really enhanced with the vanillas that you typically get out of casks. The smoke, however, there wasn't much in it to begin with, but what little there was in it originally, it does really soften down after the addition of water. Also, it's become, like I said, a lot more floral, but herbaceous too. A lot of just fresh herbs. Nothing definitive, nothing specific, but just generally an herbaceous note to it. Also, a slight citrus zest is now coming out after the water. Well, after the water, it's a lot silkier mouthfeel. It was slightly astringent before. The floral notes on the palate are definitely more pronounced, same as on the nose. You're getting all sorts of nice summery type floral notes to that. It's just become overall brighter, the taste. The earthiness is still there, but it has lessened somewhat. What would I say? There is a slight spiciness to it, but it's more like an oak spiciness rather than a cooking spice. So there is a spiciness that's manifested itself after the water. It's a little bit more approachable. And it was balanced before, but it's distinctly balanced now. It's not a complex whiskey, oddly enough, for having such a high percentage of malt. But the finish is somewhat longer after the water, still clean, still that saline-y type salty note to it. And there's also a chalky element to it, actually, like a chalkboardy, just a chalky type element that you tend to get a little bit more on the where you get it on the finish now after the water than you did before. But really, it's just dried grass, earthiness, damp earthiness, fresh fruits, summer floral, green apple-y, dram. It's obviously a Speyside type of whiskey, but it's not bad. Again, I'll say it is very well balanced, and for the money on this is about 40 pounds a bottle, dollars, euros. So it's not unreasonable for a blend. Would I consume it regularly? Probably not regularly, but I don't think it's bad. And as far as quality for the cost, you're definitely getting good quality for the cost there, and you're getting an even-keeled whiskey that delivers, especially after the addition of water, a lot stronger and richer palate experience. So, I mean, what would I give this? Marks out of 100. Really, because it is well balanced, well made, high percentage of malt, I'm not going to give it an extremely high score, but it's a very solid dram. I'm going to get it about an 86 out of 100. And that's for Maclean's Nose Blended Scotch Whisky. And that's really about all I've got to say about this one. So, like and subscribe and all that. And until next time, this is Tom. See you later.